Destiny is a game that actually started out as a fantasy RPG, and you can tell that still resonates in the game with how enemies are named and the weapons you wield. But let's talk about those weapons. Heads up everybody, my name is SentinelGray and welcome to the channel. Yes, what I said about Destiny is actually true. It started out as a fantasy game, which then turned sci-fi. And what I mean by, it resonates still within the game, is think about the enemies you face. Thralls, legionaries, goblins, hobgoblins, ogres, all fantasy-style enemies. Take a step back and look at Destiny with the mind of a fantasy player, and you'll probably see a little bit different of a game. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I'm here to talk to you about weapons. This guide is going to cover everything you should need to know about weapons in Destiny 2. Whether you're a returning player who only played D1 back whenever it was brand new, or just now giving it a shot. There is a third party in there who's a Destiny vet and just likes to watch Destiny content on YouTube. I see you. I know you exist, don't worry. This video is going to be about the basics, and I mean bare bones basics about weapons in Destiny. Seriously. Brand new person, never picked up the game before, or just needs a refresher, whatever. Basic stuff. In Destiny, you have 3 different types of weapon slots: kinetic, energy, and power, each with their own different usages. Kinetic weapons are weapons that do the best damage to an enemy's health, but not so much an enemy's shields. That doesn't mean that, kinetic weapons can't affect an enemy's shields, it just means that they do less damage to them as compared to an energy weapon in the same archetype. Energy weapons, like I said, deal the best damage to an enemy's shields, but not so much to an enemy's health. And very similar to how kinetic weapons work, energy weapons still do damage to an enemy's health, but not as well as the kinetic weapons. Understand? In addition, you'll notice that enemies have certain color shields. If you match the energy type of your weapon to the energy type of their shields, you deal more damage, and cause their weapons to overload, which produces a mini explosion, damaging that enemy and any nearby enemies with it. Now you may be asking, should you always match damage types to shields? And the answer is, you don't have to. You can get away with dealing arc damage to solar shields and be perfectly fine. Power weapons are the best of both worlds. They can tear through an enemy's health and shields and kill some shielded enemies on one hit alone. This, however, is offset because of the very little amount of ammo they have and very specific weapons that can be used as heavies. All power weapons also have an energy type, so the whole matching shield and damage types to get an explosion thing still actually applies here. Now, in the energy and kinetic slots, there are weapons that take 2 different types of ammo. Primary ammo, which players usually refer to as white brick ammo, and special ammo, which players refer to as green brick ammo. You'll be using primary weapons far more often than special weapons, hence why they're named that way, so I'll go over those first. Primary weapons include auto rifles, pulse rifles, scout rifles, hand cannons, submachine guns, sidearms, and bows. All of these weapons take white brick ammo, which you'll find frequently when playing Destiny. Special weapon ammo will be a bit more scarce, but only because they tend to dish out a little bit more damage. Special weapon types are shotguns, sniper rifles, fusion rifles, and single-loaded grenade launchers. You can see by that list why they deal more damage and why their ammo is a little bit harder to find. Keep in mind though, just in case you were curious, not every primary weapon does kinetic damage, and not every special weapon does energy damage. There are all different types of weapons, like energy auto rifles and kinetic shotguns. None of these are exclusive to the type of damage that they can deal. Lastly, power weapons. They have the most rare ammo to drop in the game, with it being purple brick ammo, and for good reason. Check out this list. Power weapons include rocket launchers, grenade launchers, linear fusion rifles, machine guns, and swords. Before you ask, yes, swords take ammo in Destiny. I don't understand the story or the lore reasons behind why, they just do. Now, when exploring different weapons, there's something you should know, that in these types, there are archetypes or variations of the same style of weapon. You have some auto rifles that have a slow fire rate and are hard hitting per shot, as well as ones that just spit lead down range. Luckily, there's no archetype of weapon that is the best overall. As the game progresses and grows and evolves, these archetypes get buffed and nerfed as the developers find they're needed in the game. Most players often refer to these archetypes by the weapon's fire rate, so you'll hear things like a 120 hand cannon, a 720 auto rifle, those sorts of things. However, in the game, they are referenced as different frame types. For example, a 120 hand cannon is known as an aggressive frame hand cannon, and a 720 auto rifle is known as a rapid fire frame auto rifle. Like I said, each of these different frames of weapons have different uses, and there might be certain ones that you love to use and others that you absolutely hate. The nice thing about this game is since everyone's playstyle is different, there's more than enough weapons to find something that fits your particular playstyle. Also, talking about different playstyles, each weapon can roll with a different set of perks, or traits as the game calls them. These traits are different types of scopes, barrels, magazines, and ammo types, but usually that's not what players focus around. Beyond the weapon traits that are normal things you'd be able to swap out on like any gun, there are 2 slots for perks that tend to make a real difference, doing things like increasing damage on kills, increasing reload speed on a headshot, giving you ability energy back, real difference maker perks that really set it apart. All of these traits, perks, whatever you call them, are randomly rolled on weapons, and not only that, but each different weapon has a certain perk pool that the game pulls from. For example, some weapons can't roll with 2 perks that increase your damage. However, there are a rare few that can. These random rolled weapons are exclusive to a certain rarity, however. You'll only be able to get random rolls on legendary or purple weapons. I haven't touched weapon rarity yet, so let's go there next. Like any normal RPG in the world, Destiny has weapons of different rarities, and they have colors that correlate to each rarity as well. Common weapons are white, uncommon weapons are green, rare weapons are blue, legendary weapons are purple, and gold weapons are exotic. As somebody who's played Destiny since launch, these colors and rarities don't mean a damn thing. Honestly, you'll only be seeing white and green weapons for an extremely small amount of time. Blue weapons will be frequent, but useless to you, and purples will be the only thing you'll use. Believe me, once you hit endgame in D2, the game basically hands out purples almost like candy. Exotics, however, are a different story. Exotic weapons literally defy everything that I just told you. Everything from different archetypes to ammo types to perk rolls, exotics defy it all. Exotic weapons can come from random drops in the game, completing quests, or straight up buying them in the tower, though they're super expensive. Most of these types of weapons also have a fixed roll of perks to them, so you don't have to go chasing down the perfect roll. But recently we've received a few exotics that have broken that mold. Regardless, every exotic weapon comes with at least one exotic perk, which can't be found anywhere else except on that particular weapon. Exotic perks that can heal your allies whenever you shoot them, create a swarm of nanites that around your enemies that deal damage over time, or shoot a barrage of rockets that aggressively seek out enemies. Exotics do a lot. Because these exotic weapons and perks are so powerful, you're only allowed to have one equipped on your character at a time. While you have an exotic equipped, the game will literally not allow you to equip another one in a different slot, even for just a second. Well, that is going to be the end of part 1 to this guide. In part 2, I'm going to go into more of the perks and traits for weapons, what they do, which ones are better than others, and which ones I personally prefer. If you can't wait though, I actually do have 2 videos out right now on the channel that dive into masterworking weapons and armor and what exactly that means, and of course what it does for you. I'll have links for those 2 videos down below in the description. But if you like this video and you want to see part 2, or you want to see more in general, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below in the comments. I'm sure either me or another Destiny vet can answer them for you. And if you like live content, I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. You'll find a link for that in the description box below as well. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you all next time, and remember, keep your heads up and be kind to each other. Bye now.